Okay, I'm doing this. This is my big adventure for the day. I went online live once upon a time with Pastor Chris, but I'm doing it all by myself, and just wanted to take a few minutes and go over some of the things that we would have gotten to do if we'd met in person tonight. So, welcome to Sunday Night Live, kids, and I have sent out some emails about that. Right now we're doing a 3 simple dares, because I don't like the name rules. I don't like the word rules, and you can see my book here is talking about 3 simple rules. So what can you make a rule into to make it more fun? You can make it into a dare. And so that's what I've made this. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to do a challenge or a dare each week. And this first week, we're going to be talking about the first of these 3 rules. Let me back up and start with who made up these rules, because that's important usually. There's a guy named Charles Wesley and his brother John Wesley. Both of them were founders of the Methodist Church and were in England, and then they were over in Georgia as missionaries and priests in the Church of England, and but they kind of made a process. They made a method, if you will, of how to do worship and how to be a Jesus follower. And people were asking John Wesley, well, what do we do? How do we the way we're supposed to live? And there's a lot of things that he could say, but he came up with these 3 basic ideas. First is do no harm. Whatever you do, just don't harm anybody with it, which is a good starting point. The second rule or challenge is to do good. So it's not okay to just don't hurt anybody and make it through life without impacting anything. You have to do good. So you actually have to do something. So that's what we'll talk about next week. And then the week after that, the last one is stay in love with God, or just love God. So it's not just enough to don't hurt anybody and then try to do good. There's got to be a reason behind it, right? And that is where we get to being in love with God. And that kind of puts the flavor in everything that we do. So those are the 3 different things that we're going to focus on. This week we're going to talk about doing no harm to God's children in the world around us. So let's see. Those are Wesley's dares. And so I want to invite you as a family. This is homework. So if you're watching this, haha, tricked you. You get to do some homework, but I want to invite you as a family to read chapter 1 of Genesis. So there's no trouble finding it. The very beginning of the Bible, the very start. You're going to be talking, it's going to be telling you all about God creating the world. And so just read through all of chapter 1 and hear what it talks about being created. But especially, I want you to pay attention, because in chapter 26, it's going to say that God created man to rule over everything that had been created. So I wanted to change that up. Rule over doesn't, I don't know, I kind of think that could be like, you know, somebody bossy sitting up on a throne and pointing and telling people what to do, and but that's not what that means. It means basically to take care of. So I wanted to break that down. If you're going to rule over, look at it again and we'll find another thing about it. The word rule is in there. 3 simple rules. So we're kind of thinking about the idea of what rules are. Usually, rules help us to do things the right way. So I want you to think about 3 rules that you have to follow. I'm trying to think really quick. One of my rules is that I have to wake up when my alarm goes off in the morning. I don't like that rule, but I do it because I need to get things done. What other rules? I drive a car, so one of the rules that I have to follow is to stay on the right-hand side of the road and stay in the lines. So even if I like to color outside of the lines, when I drive, I have to stay inside of the lines. So that's 2 rules. A third rule that I generally have to do, I kind of make sure that my kids are doing the things that they need to do. There's a lot of stuff with that, but I think as a mom, that's a rule that I kind of have to help those that are in my house. So I'll say those are my rules. I want to hear what your rules are. Like, what's the rule that you like the least? What's the rule that you enjoy the most? And just on one other random rule. So you can put it in the comments in this live thing, or when I put it on YouTube, you can add it there, or have a parent email it to me. However you want to get that to me. I want you to think about, what are some rules that you have to follow, and why do you have to follow those? Usually it's because it makes things go better if you follow the rules. The other thing that I said, rule over, really means to take care of. So when you take care of something, I want you to think about the fact that you can't take care of something if you are hurting it. So I have my dog. I'm going to try. Dally. My graham crackers are over there. Say hi. So Dally's with me as we're doing this. I can't take care of my dog, Dahlia, without not hurting her. If I were hurting her, that would not be taking care of her, right? So as we think about that you can't take care of something without hurting it, I want you to think about, like, what does that mean, right? Hold on. Don't go anywhere, Dal. I'm just a little hungry. I'm gonna get a little quick bite of something. Curious to know. I'll be curious to know who of you checks in, and even just for a minute. But I don't know. Is this rude to eat a banana in front of you guys? I was just a little bit hungry. Dally's looking at me like I'm maybe kind of not being polite. So here's what I'll do. I'm gonna close this back up, and we'll pretend that it never. Let's see if I can. How can I get it to go back like it was? I've got some tape, so I'm gonna try to make it look like I didn't eat it. Try and put it back together. Let's see, how is this going? It's kind of not sticking very good, and it's kind of popping open. So I got one other thing I'm gonna try here. I'm gonna try this. I got a stapler. We'll see if I can't. It works. It goes in, right? In the empty part, it's really hard to staple. Okay. Oh, I ran out of staples. But is that back? Is that the same as it was before? Not really, right? And since we're talking about not harming things, once you do harm something, it's really kind of hard to go back and make it not harmed. Does that make sense? I can think of my crazy little stapled and taped up banana. I'll enjoy that later. So, you can't take care of things when you're harming them. And once you do harm things, then you can't really undo that. You can, let's say, how would you harm a friend? If you're at a playground and you do something, you could either you could like hurt them like by accident if they fell or you trip them or something like that. Or you could say things that are not very kind or hurtful. That could do some harm. And so we want to think about ways to not harm other people. Let's see. I want you to think of what other ways, if you have a brother or a sister or even cousins or other friends that you go and play with, what are some other things that you've sometimes have made you maybe say or do something that was mean or hurtful? Sometimes you might get angry, you might get really impatient, or you could get jealous if they have something that you don't have. So I can see somebody's joined me, but I don't know well enough how to navigate it. So I'll just go ahead. I'm just talking about ways that we could harm people. One of the things that I like about the fact that we start these dares with do no harm is because when you can stop yourself from saying or doing anything that hurts someone's feelings, you've got a lot of good places that you can go with them. Let's see. And it just means that you're being careful with your words or actions. Means that instead of, one of the things that I like at Camp Lookout, if you've ever been up to Camp Lookout, one of the things that they say all the time is that we're not in the, we're in the build 'em up business, not the tear 'em down business. And so at Camp Lookout, you'll hear Mr. Don and any of the other counselors, they'll say, we're in the build 'em up business, not the tear 'em down business. And what, if you think about that, what do you don't want to tear somebody down. You don't, it's like taking things out of their bucket. If you talked about that in school, where you want to be a bucket filler, you don't want to take things out of people's bucket. So you want to do things that are kind and caring and that are encouraging, rather than doing things that kind of make somebody feel hurt or feel tiny. So that's what the challenge is this week. Doing no harm by caring and being careful of others. Here's where the dare comes in. I dare you to find a book that tells me something about that. It can be anything. And I'm going to start the dare with one of my favorite books. I love Elephant and Piggie books. So are you ready to play outside? That is what I'm going to be reading to you tonight. So I'm going to try to do it so that you can see everything. After I read this, I'm going to take this video and I'm going to put it up on YouTube. And what I want to hear back from you guys or see is for you to find a book that talks about taking care of somebody else, being kind, lifting others up, anything along those lines, and either take a picture with it and send it to me, or I want you to, if you're really bold, I would love for you to read that story to me and share the video of that. So, are you ready to play outside? An Elephant and Piggie book by Mo Willems. Let me make sure I can get it all in there. Are you ready to play outside? Piggie, Gerald. Are you ready to play outside? Yes, yes, yes. We are going to do everything today. We are going to run. Piggie's got lots of ideas. We are going to skip. We are going to jump. Nothing can stop us. Plink. What is that? What has landed on Piggie's head? Oh no, it is starting to rain. Oh no. That can ruin plans, right? It is raining. It is pouring. It is really pouring. I have never seen so much rain in my life. Piggy's very grumpy about all that rain. I do not like rain. Wah. Look at that grumpy face. I am not a happy pig. Can you make a grumpy face? All of a sudden, where did the rain go? Look. It's not there. What? What's happening? Thank you, Gerald. So Gerald is using that big ear to cover and protect Piggy from the rain. That's sweet. But it is still raining, said Piggy. Grrr. Back to a grumpy face again. How can anyone play outside with all this rain? Earth, have you ever been frustrated by rain like that? Can you see? I'm going to hold this up very close and see if it will show you. Look, we have two little critters here and here, and they say rain. Yay! Splash, 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 splash. Little earthworms. Piggy's watching. Gerald is watching. Gerald says they are having fun. Maybe we can have fun too. They're thinking about it. We can try. Splash. Have you ever jumped in a rain puddle? This is great. Let's play, Piggy says. Run, run, run. Just like they said. Skip, skip, skip. Just like they said they were going to do. Jump, jump, jump. I love rain, Piggy says. I hope it rains all day. Uh-oh. Right when they decide that it could rain all day, what's happening? What's coming out? Less and less rain. Piggy says, rats. Now I like rain, and now the rain has stopped. I am not a happy pig. Do not worry, Piggy. I have a plan, says Gerald. I like that picture of Piggy. That's a thinking picture. Rain? All of a sudden it's raining again. Look, and that's a happy Piggy in the rain. What do you think happened? Elephants make the best friends, is what Piggy says. So Gerald is making it rain. The end. And there's always a little penguin or pigeon. It's the pigeon. So I like this book because it talks about how good friends can help one another. Gerald is a really good friend in this book and helps cover Piggy from the rain when Piggy does not like the rain, and gives rain back when Piggy decides rain is better. So I can't wait to hear what some of your books are that tell you about how to care for others and be kind, and look forward to seeing a picture of it, or even tell me the name of it. And let's see, I'm going to save this video and I'm going to post it on YouTube on our Kids Ringgold YouTube channel, so you can find it again later. And I think that's it. I am praying for you guys, and so we'll as we go through November, we're leading up to Thanksgiving, and I'm wanting to be really thankful this year. It's easy to get frustrated and not be thankful, just like Piggy, right, in the story. But let's be thankful. Be thankful for all of God's children that God has created, and thankful that you have the ability to be kind and caring and show other people God's love. So pray that you'll be blessed, and I'll see you soon. Bye.